Good morning, this is Mickey Gilmer. I'm with Graham Roofing out of the West Point, Mississippi office. And we're standing here today on top of MSU Hunter Henry Center. The MSU Hunter Henry Center houses the MSU Foundation and the MSU National Alumni Office. Graham Roofing was the selected roofer for this ReRoof project in 2019. The former roof that was on here was the original roof when this building was built in the early 2000s. It was a 2-ply modified bitumen roof. But for some reason or another, about the 15-year mark, the seams started delaminating and opening up and allowing leakage. First thing we did was come over here and do some core cuts, found what the existing roof was, and we did a moisture survey scan that located all the wet subsurface areas. And once that was determined, we came up with a proposal to leave the remaining roof in place, but to remove the wet insulation and then fill those areas with thick enough ISO to bring it up even with the modified bitumen roof. Once that was done, we overlaid the existing roof with a 1/4-inch primed ends deck, and then we fastened it down in an I-90 wind uplift pattern. Once that was done, then we adhered Firestone 80 mil TPO roof, and with that, and with the unique flashing details that Firestone Technical Department helped us come up with, Firestone issued the owner a Red Shield 25-year warranty. It's so important in the construction to have relationships, trustful relationships. Graham Roofing has a 30-year plus history with Firestone, and with that relationship, we knew we could meet this challenge. This is the only building of this type design on the university where you have different components, exterior wall components of granite, ACM metal wall panels, and glass curtain walls. In some places, 2 or more of these components come together and creates a real challenging flashing detail. There are over 13 different roof areas on this building, and we'll show you some of those as we continue. On top of these 2 areas, there was no wet insulation. We just simply mechanically attached down the 1/4-inch primed ends deck, adhered the 80 mil TPO to it, and then flashed the edge metal according to 25-year requirements. One of the challenging parts of re-roofing Hunter Henry was re-roofing this area at the base of this skylight. With the design of it, it goes in and goes out, it's got curves in it, and over time the structure has started to dip to the outside and causing ponding water. What we did, we put in some crickets to divert the water in these areas to a roof drain where we installed, where all this water drains off of it. Again, that was one of the more challenging areas to re-roof. Over here to this side, this is the alumni wing that houses all the national officers for the Alumni Association. There were several places in this roof area where it did contain wet moisture underneath the roof system. And again, those were places they were already located. We tore those out, demoed that, removed that wet insulation, and then filled it with dry insulation, and then installed the same roof system over it. Another one of the challenges that we had was Trace Kennard, the building services coordinator, wanted us to eliminate all the gutters on each tier of this wing, the foundation wing. Each gutter had its own individual downspout that drained underneath the roof into the attic and was tied into one main trunk line. And for years they'd have trouble with joints and leaking in that system, and also getting stopped up with leaves. So he asked us to come up with a big enough gutter to put down here at the very bottom end with its own downspout systems to drain through landscape drains in the flower bed that would handle this volume of water. So each section of these 2 pieces of gutter are sized to handle the the volume of water that comes off each one of these areas, and the downspouts are designed to drain the gutter properly. It must be working fine because Trace is happy, and everybody knows if your owner's happy, that's what you want. That's the ultimate goal, keeping the owner happy.